Okay, in this video I'm going to go over compression. I had a member, and actually it was a person on YouTube that just sent me an email asking me to just go over compression to give them an idea of how to compress certain things. So I'm going to play this beat first, and then we'll go over some compression tips. Alright. Okay, I want you to notice a couple things. This is like a club type beat or a pop beat, something that you would give to, you know, a pop star or something like that. I can see Madonna or somebody on this, and actually with the right rapper you could even, you know, flip this beat and turn it into something crazy like a T.I. or somebody on this beat or whatever. But anyway, I want you to look at the meter here. I want you to look at the master meter. I want you to look at the level and notice that it's not clipping. And when I say not clipping, that means it's in the yellow, it's not in the red. I'm going to intentionally make this clip for the purpose of this tutorial. Alright, so as you can see, when it clips, basically the volume levels go all the way up to the top. The reason why clipping isn't good is because it distorts your audio. We definitely don't want our audio to sound distorted. Technically, further down the line, when you get people to mix your music and so forth, it can cause other issues, but we're not going to go into that. We're going to keep it basic for now. With a compressor allows you to do several things. On this synth that I have in this song, I added a compressor. There are so many purposes of a compressor that it's difficult to just sum it up in one sentence, but technically, if you want to know technically what a compressor does, I'm going to write out the definition on my forum and have it listed there for you. But I don't feel that it's appropriate to give you the technical definition of each item here on the compressor, like the threshold, ratio, attack, release, and so forth, because honestly, that's not what you're going to remember. What you'll remember is what you hear from the compressor. When you use a compressor, for example, if I play this beat again, the kick in this beat it doesn't thump like I want it to thump. So one tool that you could use the compressor for is to get your kicks to thump. Or mainly what a compressor does, it can take a signal and increase that signal. It can also prevent that same signal from reaching a point too high. So it can raise the lows and increase the highs, basically, if that makes any sense to you. Let me get started with the tutorial. Maybe the more that we do, it'll start to make sense to you. So what I'm going to do, I've already played around with these compressor settings, and actually I'm going to see if I can reset everything. And just to give you just a brief overview so you won't be in the dark here, the input gain and also the output gain are basically just volume buttons. The threshold is the point in which I want my compressor to start compressing. To me, that's the most important button that you need to, along with the ratio, that's the most important button that you need to understand with a compressor. It's the ratio, the point at which you want your compressor to start compressing. This ratio is just the amount that you want the compressor to compress when it does start. The attack is, you know, at what point do you want that compressor to start. Basically, the attack is similar to the attack keys on like the NNXT and so forth, and the release is self-explanatory. So just listen to the way that I alter this sound with the compressor by finding a point in which I want to compress and by increasing the amount that I'm compressing. Mainly what I want to do, I want to accomplish two things. I want to bring my drums out in this track, and I also want to compress this synth to kind of make it feel as if I want to make people feel the beat. Instead of just hear the beat, I want them to be able to feel the energy that that synth has. So let's see if we can get that accomplished. I'm going to turn the compressor on. Okay, the reason this is getting louder is because I'm not compressing anything. This threshold is on 0 dB. The more that I turn it to the left, the more I'm compressing. Alright. So let's see if we can fatten this up a little bit. Alright, I'm cutting at about -25, so I want to increase that because I know I'm compressing everything above that, so I can turn it up a little bit because more is being cut off at the top. That'll make the beat fuller, if that makes sense to you. Hopefully you stay with me there. Alright, so for a quick recap, the input gain and the output gain button, you can use those to increase the volume. The reason that I was able to increase that volume was because of the ratio that I set. The ratio that I set compressed more of the beat, meaning that it chopped off the high peaks of the beat, or the chopped off a lot of the volume at the top, so that I was able to raise the bottom up a little more. If that makes any sense to you. If it doesn't, hit me up on my forum and I'll guarantee I'll explain it and keep on explaining it until you get it. But anyway, alright, so let's keep on playing with this. Let's make this fat. Alright, now I want my drums to thump. I want my drums to kick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a compressor. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that up there. That's my Sin 1. Since I have an effect here, that's the effect I'm utilizing. Now I'm going to play with these settings to make that drum thump. Let's make sure nothing's clipping. Yeah, it looks like something is, so we'll see if we can fix it. I think I need to compress this more. I'm looking at the meter here, and it looks like it's a lot that could be compressed. Alright. I'm going to truncate the kick a little bit. And just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to add the same compression to the snare so that you can just hear what it actually adds to the instrument. So you hear how it basically brought out the instrument. Now I'm going to disable the compressor, and you listen to how it brings down the overall energy of the beat. And I'm going to disable it on the synth. And there you go, the beat basically disappeared because it didn't have that compressor to drive that energy out of it. So in a nutshell, I mean, that's what a compressor does. Hopefully that was organized enough for you to understand. If not, hit me up and I'll explain it in further detail for you.